What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about the market. And goddamn, this is a reminder for people just bank profits, right? There's a couple of bits of crap news, bit of good news. So I'll start with crap news and build up, so hopefully end on a decent note, or at least an interesting one. Before I do, as always, out with the spreadsheet, the first 26 coins I spoke about that I thought would crush it in this bull cycle. If you put $100 into each one when I release the videos, you'd be in profit for $78,300. Add in the $2,600 investment, you'd be sitting on $80,900. Phantom leads the way. I've held them all at one point or another, closed positions on them all in profit, except Grin, and reinvested into new cryptos. If you want to see the cryptos I'm in, you can check out Copy My Cryptos, where I share my portfolio. The one I've built to maximize gains during this bull cycle, my biggest holdings primed and have been experiencing some explosive gains. And I talk about this constantly. The bull cycle's great. Bank profits, bank profits, bank profits all the way through. Don't try and hit the high of the market because no one does. And it will be great for us all. But the bear cycle is where you make your retirement investments, where you make your life-changing investments, your financial freedom investments, right? If you want to be a part of that, then you can check out Copy My Crypto, because all I do during bear cycles is deep dive into coins and find those ones that are 20 times, 40 times, 50 times, 100 times undervalued. I found Phantom during the bear cycle, that's up 510 times in value. And this market will go bearish sooner rather than later. Whether it's December, January, February, March, the bull cycle doesn't last forever, and when the bear cycle hits, it hits hard, it hits fast. So please bank profits. And this is, well, here's a story that should point out why you bank profits. So DeFi lender BZX suffers another hack. Reported $55 million. They tweeted that a private key controlling the protocol's deployment on Polygon and Binance Smart Chain was breached. Private keys compromised, $55 million stolen so far. The protocol added that about 25% of the stolen amount was personal losses from the team wallet that was compromised. They suffered 3 hacks last year, although it was able to recover 8 million in crypto from the third and latest of the attacks. The other 2 hacks occurred in February for 630,000, 350,000. And yeah, it's just crap. It's just crap to see. You don't want to see these things happen. But this is what, these things happen in crypto, and I'm not sort of disregarding it. They do happen in crypto, but this is why, make sure you're banking your profits, because you don't expect this to happen with the DeFi protocol, but we've seen it happen with a number of DeFi protocols. And if you're sitting hanging on to try and get the top of the market, this is when you can suffer. And yeah, just another crap story of a hack. It's sad. And like I said, we're seeing them fairly regularly in the last sort of 18 months. Another piece of news is the 8-word crypto amendment in the infrastructure bill. And to be fair, you know what? I saw Elio Trades a video on this last night, and he nailed it. And I'd actually recommend people watch that as well, because he really talks through this with real passion and sense. But and I won't do what his speech is justice in that. But what I'll say is, look, this bill and these amendments suck. They completely suck. It's going to be bad for everyone in DeFi. It's not even possible that DeFi can comply with what's being asked because of the changes. So they've basically said a separate provision to the broker provision has been introduced, and it's bad for everyone. It's bad, especially bad for DeFi. The statute would not ban DeFi outright, but imposes reporting requirements that, given the way DeFi works, would be impossible to comply with. They'd be requiring reporting of like to the government but it's DeFi, it's decentralized finance. You can't do it. and it's basically trying to remove anyone's financial privacy. So there's been a lot of tweets and a lot of discussions about it. The bill is unconstitutional and inherently anti-American. Private citizens have the right to financial privacy and financial freedom. Absolutely shameful to see. And it is. Now this is meant to come into effect in 2023, but once a bill passes, to paraphrase Elio, to be fair, but once a bill passes, it is very hard to then, or next to impossible, to then roll back on the bill that's passed. The amendment, yeah, and it's appalling. So the amendment is an affront to the rule of law and to the norms of democratic lawmaking. It was slipped quietly into a 2,700-page spending bill, allegedly as a tax measure to defray the bill's $1 trillion price tag, even though Section 6050L is in fact a costly criminal enforcement provision. The proposal deserves attention now, while there is still time to stop it. And people should be making a fuss, particularly in America, because this is going to have a bad impact for a lot of people. I don't think this bill is going to destroy the market. We are seeing right now a small retracement in the crypto market, and it's probably down to this amendment in some part. But this is a problem, and it's one that isn't. I mean, it's fundamentally impossible to enforce, or is impossible to comply with for any DeFi protocol. So all of a sudden, you have, if this was to go through, what are the options? They can then, the US government can then start targeting DeFi protocols, and suing them? Does it close the entire decentralized finance sector of the crypto market down? There's a lot of ambiguity here. It's bad. It's a bad bill, and it's a real shame. And it's another piece of crap news. And it's not what we want to see in the market. We don't want to see quashing innovation. We want to see bills that thrive, that push to make innovation thrive. You know, we've already got this. We've seen the SEC in the past year just trying to go after particularly they're after Ripple, but the SEC, with their ambiguity, with the language that they use and the terms around crypto, what they define as a security, the fact that they don't know where they stand causes problems, and it's a frustration. It's so simple to resolve. Identify what you believe is a security based upon the Howey test, and then leave everything alone. Stop touching the cryptos. If they're not a security, leave them alone. But push for innovation. This is a sector that can grow. This is a sector that can change industries. Not one industry, all industries. Every industry globally can benefit from crypto, from blockchain technology. And doing this crap and being ambiguous with your language causes problems outright. And it will quash innovation. It's that simple. So the SEC, the American government, the Congress, they need to get their heads out their asses and start actually just thinking logically about how do we make sure this industry can grow. Yeah, they want their piece of the pie. Fine, take your piece of the pie. That's part and parcel of what taxes are. You take your piece of the pie. No one likes it, but it's what it is. But help create laws that are going to innovate, that are going to help these protocols grow. Not give them such restraints that they can't function, which is the situation. So yeah, So those are the two crap pieces of news. The good news, well, not good news, but it's news. So if you're an American, you're not familiar with Philip Hammond, I'm sure. Philip Hammond's the former Chancellor of the Exchequer for the UK, which is a very, very, very big job in the UK government. It's former, but he is at an interview with Yahoo Finance very, very recently, where he spoke of the fact that institutional adoption of cryptocurrency, tokenization, and distributed ledger tech is now unstoppable. He said that trading characteristics that are currently associated with crypto assets will become normal patterns of business with conventional assets as they are tokenized. Couldn't agree more. This is going to happen, and we have probably got to a point where this is unstoppable. And it makes sense, because all of a sudden, if you can tokenize stocks, then if stocks are tokenized, are they now subject to the same laws of trading, of stock trading? You could potentially open up all trading to be 24 hours. Could happen. But yeah, so according to Hammond, these technologies bring many benefits and introduce significant efficiencies. Increased security, transparency, speed of settlement, lower execution costs for customers. He's warned that the consequences of onboarding these new mechanisms will be hugely disruptive to the existing financial service infrastructure. The bulk of the disruption would be sustained by incumbents of institutional markets, and that these participants will be concerned about the disruptive effect on jobs in the sector. Get it? But that's what we all want. Banks have failed us for a very long time. Banks put us into a global recession. We all want a change, and the fact that, I know he's former Chancellor Exchequer, but it's good to see that he realizes that it's needed, it's necessary. The former Chancellor actually illustrates how a reversal in attitudes has also occurred amongst global central banks towards CBDCs. He described the conditions when he was the UK Chancellor of the Exchequer from 2016 to 2019 as being a harsh environment for such nascent ideas, where most of the world's banks were trying to smother digital assets and prevent them from gaining a grip. And now central banks are looking at fiat digital currencies, which could emerge in significant numbers worldwide. The Bank of England and the UK Treasury launched a joint task force in April 2021 to explore a CBDC. China now have plans to launch theirs during the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. And he was saying there's got to be rapid follow-up advantage for each country's own CBDCs so that they don't ultimately fall behind. And we ultimately digitalize conventional assets. That is the form in which these things will be held at some point or another. And that's why he said the Bank of England have begun accumulating current digital assets such as Bitcoin. Or he believes they will, rather. They're not yet, but he believes they will. And, positive news. That's positive news in many regards, because to some degree it's what we want to see. We want to see these, particularly the banking sector, disrupted. We're sick of it. No, it's not working for anyone. Is anyone happy with 0.01% interest per year? What's the point of even having your money in a bank? It's as good to me as it is under my bed. Nonsense. Yeah. But all of this, particularly these two pieces, should serve as a reminder to people. You are not going to cash out at the top of the market. So bank along the way. It's just smart. It's just smart. You need everyone, if you're making good money in these markets, have lots of different cash out points. You don't have to do it all at once. If you got in on Bitcoin, or say Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin, you got in a Bitcoin at 10 grand, then you should have cashed out a little bit at 20 grand, and a little bit at 30 grand, a little bit at 40 grand, a little bit at 50 grand, a little bit at 60 grand. Have lots of multiple cash out points, but it means you've still got skin in the game. This isn't financial advice, but it means you've still got skin in the game because you've still got holdings, but you've been banking along the way. You sleep better. Trust me on that. I bank profits regularly. I sleep bloody well. Yeah, that's it from me. Hope you're all keeping well. If you're new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share my portfolio, the one I've built to maximize gains during this bull cycle, and the one that is primed for some explosive gains. But like I've said, and like I'll continue to say, bull cycle's great. We're going to all make some good money, particularly if you're banking profits. But the bear cycle, that is where you're going to make investments that change your life, that give you financial freedom, that give you the opportunity to do what the hell you want. I found Phantom during the bear cycle, 510 times up in value. All I do during bear cycles is look through coins, find them, the ones that are 20, 40, 50, 100 times undervalued. And I will be sharing that with Copy My Crypto members because no doubt about it, bear cycle will be here, whether it's 1 month, my voice broke, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or 4 months. But it's gonna be here. And when it does hit, it hits hard. Across about a week, but it's brutal. And then you've got a couple years of bear market, and that's when retirement money is made. Anyway, take care. Bye-bye.